Who's pitching for Washington? They have a lefty going?
Oh, yeah.
Gio Gonzalez.
I have to leave around,
He's lefty, isn't
I have to leave before 3, Drew.
he? Okay, we should get
I
going.
have to talk to, Jason
Jesse Dixon's a
Mason Dixon?
Dixon, talk to Mason Dixon. Do you know about this hour, the 7 to 8 o'clock hour?
No. Actually, I talked to, I did talk to what's-his-face about Chisari, and I told him that was a terrible idea.
I think it's a terrible idea too. It's not really, because I'm gonna have to
Too much.
on 3 things.
It's fucking crazy. No, it's stupid.
I don't think I've talked to you. Did Mark tell you I met with Chisari?
Yeah, Mark did
I
say
just
something
called
like
him.
that.
Ask him a few questions, and then we talked about like unemployment and all that. And I ended up filing. He said I should have did it, no problem.
Well, you can back file.
I don't, I went in there, and I don't think you can. It's from when it's weird. Either I did it wrong because it's pretty confusing. It's not easy. They did not make it easy to do. Say that much. But how I asked her on my way out because I actually had to go in to talk to somebody. It took forever. I went there one day. Wasn't gonna wait in the line and went back the next morning, like for try to be there first. And as I was going out, she was kind of rushing me out, and I was like, "Well, when does it start?" She goes from the week you filed. So if it takes you apparently like 2 weeks to file and get to that point, it's retroactive from when you filed. So I should have, and I called, I called and got a hold of somebody and asked a while back. I'm like, when should I file if my severance is running out on this day? She's like, if your severance runs out on the 24th, you got to file, say, the next month. If it ran out on a Friday, file it on Monday. And then, but I didn't. Either way, I mean, it's taken care of now. Everything's good now, and hopefully we'll be back soon.
Yeah.
But he had told me, when I had met with him, apparently ESPN was dragging their feet big time on the contract. And they said they'd have it for him like in a day or two, and it ended up being 2 weeks. He said he had just got it like hours before I had got there, and he said he had to look over it, make sure everything was right on both sides. So I'm assuming that took a little time. And then he said, but then at that point he's like, "Oh, we should know in about a week for sure. I'll let you know what's going on in a week or so." And that was like 2 weeks ago. So
Wow.
but yeah. Sounds pretty exciting. Everything, whether it's going fast or slow, it's going. That's cool,
Yeah, it'll happen. It's it's the worst kept secret. I mean, I wish.
I know.
I don't even know. Well, it seems like it makes sense just to announce it and get that over with.
Don't you remember right when we were still in the building, still working, and there was talk that there was something in the newspaper about that.
Yeah.
So
I still don't know what to myself.
No, they're not. Can you pull down those pots down there?
I'm just worried about.
is the music still playing?
Maybe.
I don't know if I turned that off or not.
I don't think that was music. Well, you can just throw me under the bus. Just say I'm against it. I just think it's stupid to have main players in a show working on 2 shows. That's stupid because it's going to end up being an hour that you have to worry about every day.
An hour.
You're going to have to prepare for one show and then another show, and it's only an hour. I know they're going to say it's only an hour. They're going to try and say everything they can imagine to get you to do it.
Well, my contract too. My contract, they wrote 3 to 8 on there. That's when I was like, "Oh, they're really serious about this?" Because nobody said a fucking word to me about it.
I hate that.
I hate that when they do shit like that, man. They talked to me about it, and I said, I think it's an awful idea.
Why?
Because what happens when maybe somebody doesn't have enough to do, and they decide, well, I got to have something for my show, so why should I have it in our show? Because I got to have something. Whereas we can just wing our way through it, and it's like, oh, I see. So some of the better things we're going to take out of our show and just fill up this other hour. That's just dumb.
I mean,
You got to have everybody fucking going for the same thing.
I just don't understand what benefit.
To drag another hour of local programming, yeah.
Stop. Well, then hire somebody and do a full show? You know?
Or give us the option to go along. You know, maybe we go half hour long. If they start at 2 o'clock, I don't know
Yeah,
why they're starting at 3 o'clock either. I don't think that makes any sense.
Why don't they do that? Why don't we just have the option to go